Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching The Political Vigilante, bringing the truth from deep inside the Batcave, somewhere in the outskirts of Gotham City, underneath Wayne Manor. Oh, man. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Just do that right now. That helps the show a lot. Watch the ads all the way through. When you click skip ad, we don't get paid. A lot of other great ways to support the show. But I want to talk about... Boy, since Biden has been declared the winner, his cabinet, wow. It's the most diverse cabinet ever. Not of ideologies. I mean, sure, there's a lot of women and people of color who are in favor of torture and bombing and Wall Street and fracking and oil lobby money taking folks. Just so fantastic. There is no diversity of ideology in Joe Biden's cabinet. That is for certain. And they keep trying to sell us on this. And even you watch shows like Democracy Now!, Amy Goodman is always like the first woman ever to have this position and first person of color that. It's like, okay, that's good, but she never goes into the history of these people. You know, Secretary of Defense, first black man ever. Well, he's on Raytheon's cabinet, like a Raytheon's board of directors. That's not good. That's a conflict of interest. I mean, you would expect at least Amy Goodman would be like, this person that Biden wants to put in has this history of all this corporate war money and all this is, oh, by the way, they're the first woman or first person of color. I mean, that's good. But the main thing is they're going to push this corporate war machine agenda. No. She doesn't do that. She doesn't even do that. So you got to come here. So let's talk about this new person. President Biden has nominated Ambassador Samantha Powers as U.S. aid administrator, a leading voice for humane and principled American engagement in the world. She will rally the international community and work with our partners to confront the biggest challenges of our time. And this guy, I don't know, Powers' humane and principled engagement, hawking for regime change in Libya, arming al-Qaeda in Syria and demanding an invasion, explicitly demanding striking Syria without congressional approval. So that's who's in charge of U.S. aid. Another warmonger. God, this ear thing is driving me nuts. It keeps popping off. I'm going to just staple it to my ear. Supporting arming the Saudis in the Yemeni genocide. Supporting NATO expansion. This person's awful. But if you watch Joe Biden talk about it, oh, it's just fantastic how wonderful she is.
Ambassador Samantha Power to serve as the next administrator of the U.S. Agency for International Development. There is simply no one better to ensure our development agenda is a core pillar of our foreign policy.
Our security is connected to the security of people who live elsewhere. Many of the issues that we in the United States are grappling with, the pandemic, economic crisis, climate consequences, threats to the rule of law, and even to democracy. These are issues that people all around the world are grappling with as well. The United States has a chance to partner with and support people who are on the front lines in battling COVID, who are trying to build climate resilience, who are standing up for the rule of law, standing up against inequality, and trying to create more just societies.
Sam is one of our country's most respected voices on humanitarian issues, and I have seen both her passion and her principles firsthand. As U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, she represented America on the world stage with courage and humanity.
Are you truly incapable of shame? Is there literally nothing that can shame you?
During her time as the National Security Council staff, she fought tirelessly to prioritize human rights. And as a Pulitzer Prize-winning author, she advocated for the world's most vulnerable populations.
Throughout my career, first as a journalist, then as an activist, and then as a diplomat, I've had the chance to travel to many conflict-ravaged countries, to travel to West Africa at the height of the Ebola epidemic. And I have seen what USAID does on the ground for vulnerable people. I have seen the partnerships that they have forged with other countries who are pursuing economic development. I have seen the ingenuity, the determination, the curiosity, and the humanity of USAID staff. And I couldn't be more excited to work with them.
Sam understands that moral leadership must be at the foundation of our foreign policy, and the United States must lead on global development to advance our own health, security, prosperity, and values.
In order to keep the United States secure, we need to invest in defense, diplomacy, and development. President-elect Biden sees development as central to U.S. national security. And that is why he has elevated USAID, given it a seat on the National Security Council. In the 21st century, we live in an incredibly interconnected world. If people weren't persuaded of that before the COVID pandemic, they certainly are now. And so as we invest in communities all around the world, as we support the economic development of our partners around the world, that is an investment in our own security. Humanitarian support, democracy assistance, economic development, those are not nice to have in our foreign policy toolbox. They are critical if we are to see a more stable and just world exist.
There could be no one more qualified to lead those efforts than Samantha Power.
The piano music. If that's all you saw, you don't know anything about her, you'd watch that and go, wow, yeah, man, this is what we need. So she's going to bring, this is what we need, financial aid that'll help. First word, though, we need to help defense, money, wars. So let us review. Hawked for regime change war in Libya, which created a power vacuum. Now there's open slave markets in Libya. Arming Al-Qaeda in Syria, demanding an invasion. Didn't want congressional approval for drone striking Syria. Supported arming the Saudis so 85,000 dead children. Gee, that wasn't in the video. That wasn't when the piano played and touched on your heartstrings. You see how sophisticated the propaganda is? Someone just scrolling through their feed is going to see this and go, yeah, look, Biden's not perfect, but he's getting some decent people. I mean, that Samantha Power woman seems like she knows what she's doing, right? Isn't that what your takeaway would be if you watch? If I watched that video, wasn't paying that much attention, I go, that's how sophisticated it is. Heartstrings. She's a woman. She gets it. Photos with all these diverse people in these foreign countries. Let's read a little more. Power supports deploying troops to every corner of the world to solve every perceived problem. The results of regime change and the ethics behind invading sovereign states hasn't changed her mind. There's her with war criminal Kissinger. Hillary loves Kissinger. He's a war criminal. Ramped up the bombing in Cambodia. Just a little research on Kissinger in Vietnam. Just take note of all those who praise this nomination of Samantha Power in general. They're telling you exactly what they believe in. It's not laudable. Stacey Abrams, excellent decision. Samantha Power possesses the mind, heart, blah, blah, blah. This is what you get when you cozy up with neoliberal party loyalists. Jesse Kroll, universal praise from liberals toward Power's nomination is a chilling reminder that U.S. imperialism is broadly accepted in all corners. Power is even more dangerous than Pompeo in certain aspects because she maintains the illusion of human rights instead of blunt thuggery. That point I cannot make more clear. And this is the problem. This is the alarming concern with a Joe Biden. Everybody goes back to sleep. Trump and Pompeo and John Bolton and those guys, they were obviously just like, we need a bomb. We're thugs. We lie. We cheat. We steal. Right? But this is why this is so dangerous. This is Obama 2.0. This nice woman talking about human rights as the cornerstone of our toolbox. You watch Pompeo talk, you're like, this fat asshole just likes bombing poor people. He doesn't care. So does she, but she deludes you and talks in these nice tones with a piano playing. But if you arm the Saudis in the Yemeni conflict, you've contributed to one of the worst humanitarian crises in the history of the world. The worst one currently happening right now. So don't let the piano music and she's so great and she's endorsed by Stacey Abrams. Do you see this? This is going to put the left to sleep. I mean, everyone went to sleep under Obama. He dropped more bombs than Bush. She's part of that. The Clinton, Obama, neoliberal pro-war machine. The late Stephen A. Cohen said Power was speaking to the UN not in the role of an ambassador, but as a propagandist. She continues to lie about Syria, advocating for regime change that would leave the country in the hands of competing terror groups, just like Libya. I mean, Avril Haines. I mean, people in Biden's cabinet that used to work with Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney's going to be a foreign policy advisor to Biden. It's so awful. But as long as it's not Trump, we're okay with it. Oh, piano music and a nice soft voice. Hey, Mrs. Doubtfire wants to drop a bomb on you. Do you feel better now? Hey, Mrs. Doubtfire, I'm going to make you tea, and then I'm going to drop hellfire on poor brown people, thanks to the military-industrial complex. But I'm going to read the poem as we do it. We're going to put a nice rainbow flag on the drone strike as it sets women and children and people and men and boys on fire. Remember when Obama, 90% of his casualties were unintended targets? That's a polite way of saying Obama killed a lot of innocent civilians. Only 10% of the casualties were actual targets of terrorism that we wanted to stop. But Samantha Power, she's going to bake little cookies and have a cute little dog in her purse, and that's what's going to make you feel so much better when she sets the Middle East, or continues to set the Middle East on fire. So when they say, how are you going to pay for Medicare for all? Just know that Samantha Power is going to be making brownies and cupcakes in the war room as Biden continues to bomb. And she'll advocate for a troop war. Boots on the ground. Boots on the ground, Samantha Power will strive for. Boots on the ground. In Syria, in Iran, American men and women dying on foreign soil so that big companies can profit. But it sounds nice the way Mrs. Doubtfire says it, like a warm cup of tea, putting you to sleep. Don't ask questions. Don't question the Democratic Party. They're your friends. Only Republicans are evil and mean. Mike Pompeo, Trump, mean people. But Samantha Power and lovely, cuddly Joe Biden, who wrote the 1994 crime bill, and Kamala Harris, who put 100,000 black men behind bars as Attorney General, and defended pedophile priests when Kamala was district attorney in San Francisco, didn't prosecute Steve Mnuchin when he committed mortgage fraud, and stole money using taxpayer dollars to help people get kicked out of their homes. But it's all good because it's not Trump. There you go, Mrs. Doubtfire, reading you a sweet lullaby. Go to sleep, everybody. Go to sleep, liberals. Ding dong, the witches. The Donald Trump is gone. The boogeyman's gone. Let us go to sleep. Watch nice videos with piano music playing so you don't realize how horrible the American empire is. Yes, when you see Nazis storm the Capitol building, go to sleep. Don't think about all the neo-Nazis in the Ukraine that Joe Biden and other Democrats got behind to try to get a pro-American government in the Ukraine rather than one that was in favor of Putin. There you go. Put a rainbow flag on that drone strike. Tell yourself you're woke, but always never question the war machine. There you go. Go to sleep, everybody. Go to sleep. Mrs. Doubtfire says, go to sleep. Nice music, pretty songs. Don't worry that the American empire is destroying the planet and everyone on it. Good night, my loves. Good night. Mrs. Doubtfire says, shave your knuckles for justice. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. Go to patreon.com/Graham Elwood and rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, where you can support the show. Also, I have a Bitcoin wallet, a Bitcoin Cash wallet, and an Ethereum wallet in the show notes. We're taking cryptocurrency. I have a Coinbase affiliation link. We're going to be getting on some other exchanges. So that's how you support the show. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. YouTube is unsubscribing us at an alarming rate. I have a PayPal button at GrahamElwood.com. I even have a Venmo at Graham-Elwood. There's a lot of ways to support our show. We are getting crushed by YouTube. We've dipped under 73,000 subscribers because of YouTube. Thanks for supporting what we do.